And today we're going to get into more of the nuts and bolts. We're going to have Cheryl Canup is going to talk to us about human resources and risk management.
Good morning, everyone. All right, I got to figure this out. Sorry. Haha. All right, so organizational chart for human resources. By the way, I'm Cheryl Canup, Vice President of Human Resources and Risk Management. I'm only going to be talking human resources today. We don't have enough time for risk management on top of it for now. So I report to Donna, our Chief Operating Officer, and then I have two staff members that report to me. Janeth Campos Lopez, who used to work in the bistro as a supervisor. She is quite the gem. She's our HR assistant. And then Irma Medina, who is our HR payroll manager, and she's quite the trooper as well. So the three of us serve our almost 400 staff. All right, what does human resources do? Policy development, and these are campus policies. We will also assist with departments if they need some guidance on department policies. Employment functions, what are those? Recruitment, onboarding, retention, compensation, employee relations, benefits, training, legal compliance, and then we also provide culture support. Who does HR serve? So this will look familiar as it was in Donna's presentation, but approximately 385 staff that we serve and support. Probably some questions about CoreWorks and that team. We still do a lot of support with them in terms of culture, and just now they're all coming to get their W-2s, and so there's still a lot of connection with them. We track their in-services and compliance things, so there's still a lot of interaction with all of them, and honestly, they're still our team. So I won't go into detail on all of this since you already previously did, but I had heard you were interested in recruiting, where and how we do our recruiting. The majority of our recruiting is actually done online, and we post all of our open positions on our campus link on our Beatitudes website. We also post it to job boards such as Indeed, Craigslist, or any specialized ones for certain types of positions. Currently we have one for our capital campaign manager with ASU and a couple of other agencies that help with fund development type positions. Word of mouth is huge, and so that's coworkers referring coworkers. It's you all referring people that you think would be amazing here. We always joke, if you find somebody at Fry's that has amazing customer service, tell them to run across the street. So word of mouth is huge for us. Job fairs, and this is trade schools, going to hospitals when they do job fairs. A lot of the agencies put together job fairs as well. City of Phoenix has job fairs to try and help those looking for new employment. Schools, this one's a good one too. High schools, so we reach out to the local high schools. Colleges, and this can be schools of nursing. They come on site and they will do their clinicals here, and also some of their education, and we hope they fall in love with us, and then we have instant staff. It's a beautiful thing. Additionally, trade schools. We have worked with some refrigeration schools and different trade schools like that. And we try not to use them, but we will for specific positions, recruiting firms. Oftentimes we will reach out for executive type positions or truly hard to fill positions. We will work with recruiting firms. Team member onboarding, orientation, and training. That's a lot, and it actually is a lot. All right, onboarding. That's what we call it when the new team member is coming into human resources to complete their new hire paperwork. This is where we collect their compliance items, such as their work authorization, their I-9 documents, any necessary licensure. If they're a nurse, we need to see proof of their license. If they have a fingerprint card, we need to get a copy front and back of it. I'm giving you details you really don't need, but it's rote for me to say this, so I apologize. We also review our campus policies and procedures. What are our time off policies? They're always very interested in those. Where to park? That's always a big question. And we review the handbook with them. We review the basics of what benefits are offered and their eligibility. We also give them a welcome goodie bag. So they start with a couple Beatitudes t-shirts, so they can blend in with the rest of us, and just some other little tchotchke trinkets to welcome them and promote the logo. And they've really liked those this past year. Orientation, different than onboarding. So orientation is completed by both HR and the department they're being hired into. So HR orientation, it's actually done online through a computer program, and it covers in-services, which are trainings, but they're called in-services in healthcare, that are required in our licensed buildings and extremely good for the rest of the team members to know, such as safety, bloodborne pathogens, exciting stuff, HIPAA, compliance, those kinds of things. Infection control, emergency preparedness, resident rights, and what to look for with abuse and neglect, and who to report it to. Department orientation, so this covers department protocols. So if Randy hires a new person into catering, Randy's going to review with them what their policies, protocols are, and or his designee is going to do that. And again, if they want assistance with that, HR is more than willing to help them. Training. Job-specific trainings are conducted by the departments. Compliance trainings are typically conducted online in that training program or others that we find, or by the departments, and they're tracked by human resources. For example, infection control, food handling, falls management. Anytime they make a change, and by they, I mean the regulatory agencies, we have to train the staff on that new regulation and what policy goes with that. And so HR is usually the one that is working with the department to launch that out to all of the staff. Team member retention. This one probably should have said turnover, but we'll get to why it says retention. So why do staff leave? Changes. Changes is a big one. Some people are okay with change, others aren't. Some people think they're okay with change, but when dealing with it, realize they're not. So this past year, we've had recent layoffs. We had the transition of our facilities housekeeping EVS team. We had some new management in, and just changes in general. That's a lot for people. And some are up for it, and others aren't. They get nervous. And so working with them to settle them, explain what those changes are. But those that aren't 100% vested in us, they'll leave. Workforce challenges. Ever since COVID, we've really seen a difference with the workforce. Obviously, younger generations are coming in. They want flexibility. They want to work from home. Little tough if you're a nurse. So, we can't necessarily do that in senior living compared to other industries. So it's been a little bit of a challenge trying to get new employees in. Additionally, they will leave for 25 cents or 50 cents because of the economy. as well as maybe it's a 45-minute drive for them, and gas prices, when they were up, we actually lost a few people because of the cost of travel. And so we have to take those things into consideration. Personal reasons, they get sick, family members get sick, they need to go be caregivers now. A new job, sometimes opportunity knocks. Other times they're a little unsettled and they're looking. Also, they may realize because of these changes in the way we're moving forward, they may not be a culture fit or a mission fit for us. And we may notice that as well. And then finally, why do they leave? Disciplinary issues. So the old involuntary terminations. Attendance is the biggest. That younger workforce and what today's workforce is very, I'm going to say flippant. It's a job. They will come, they'll get that paycheck, they're gone. They won't even bother to let us know. They're not coming back. So working through those kinds of issues as well, plus policy violations. We're really working with David and the entire leadership team on our culture and the culture of caring and the culture of love and support. And if our staff can't buy into that and own it and live it, they're not going to make it here. Because honestly, to be here, you really need a servant leadership heart. And not everybody has that. And so we're working on interviewing for those things. All right, now team member retention. You saw this number with Donna, but our current 12-month retention rate, you're reading that correct, 21.8. That is due to all of those things I just shared with you on that last slide. Anytime you bring about changes, you're going to lose quite a bit of staff. And again, trying to understand this new workforce is challenging as well. And we take it very serious that our duty to you is to provide you with amazing service, and we're committed to that. And sometimes people, they interview great. But then, so, we're trying to, again, hire for that heart, hire for our mission fit, not just because they wow us in an interview. Okay. And our average team member tenure, I'm actually pretty impressed with this, 4.2 years. Okay. A lot of the applicants I see coming in have less than a year at current jobs. And honestly, in history of jobs, it's 18 months here, 6 months here. And so to me, 4.2 is actually good. But then when we see our staff and, we just set the date for our milestone anniversaries and we've got 30-year staff, 35-year team members, that's exciting. And those are the ones that have fallen in love with Beatitudes. What can help them stay here? Feeling of purpose and our mission. Again, that falling in love with Beatitudes and what it means in all of you. A sense of belonging, that family type feel, just equity, equality. Feeling of equity, jumped ahead. Affordable benefits. We can offer the greatest benefits, but if our team members can't afford it, they're not going to stay. They need to have affordable benefits and attractive benefits. Competitive wages, and I have that down on the list because, believe it or not, competitive wages is not the number one reason someone's going to stay. It's those other things at the top. And finally, all of you. You have a hand in the team members staying as well. I always joke, I've used my daughter. When she came, she used to hear me just rave about Beatitudes and how much I loved it and how different it was from a senior living community I worked at before. And I said, you don't understand until you're there. And I remember a couple days into her job as a server here, she goes, I get it, Mom. She goes, they get you right here. And so just remember that. And I get choked up because I just love it. You all mean a lot to all of us. So you play a big part in that retention. If staff don't feel liked, or, geez. Those who know me know this is normal. I shouldn't be surprised, but I am every time. You just remember that you too have a hand in them staying because, it's that sense of belonging. We're all in this together, and we're here to serve you and do what we can, and they understand that.
Okay, we will take some questions now. And there's 3 of us in the room with microphones. Please don't yell out a question. Wait till you get a microphone and be considerate of everybody being able to hear you. Okay, go. Robert.
I tried to ask Cheryl this before I understood the process. So anyway, so you have those reasons why people stay. Do you do an exit interview to find out why people are leaving? And maybe there's something that we can do to address that to keep more people from leaving.
Everyone heard the question? All right. So we try to do exit interviews. Some people don't want to do them. Also, sometimes we get notified too late of that resignation or termination.
There you go. Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, the mics are.
Oh, okay. Do you want me to come? Is better? So we try to, and we're trying to figure out a better process to capture everyone. We try emailing them afterwards. Maybe this one's better? Okay. That one must be dying. I don't know. We tried emailing them. We had miserable returns. So we try to capture them in person. And we do ask the question, is there anything we can do essentially to save you? And a lot of times it's those things we discussed. There's something going on in their life and they just have to leave. You'll notice you see people come back. So maybe once there's been resolution to whatever that personal issue is, they'll come back. So we do make every effort to try and do an exit with them.
This is for Cheryl. What kind of periodic reviews do you have with employees? And when we call housekeeping and say, we really liked Vanessa today, do those somehow get into the mix of evaluation of employees?
Okay, so second question was, if you give a shout out to a housekeeping employee because they're fantastic, do they receive those? I hope so. It depends on who you're giving it to. If you give it to their supervisor has shared with me that they are most definitely providing those. If it goes to a maintenance coordinator, I'm not sure, in all honesty. If you want to make sure they get it, you can send it to me. We also have the Employee Appreciation Committee who is gathering shout outs so we can put them into the Roadrunner. And that way staff can see them as well. So my answer is I sure hope so. But if we can get them to the right people, they'll receive them. It's so important for them to receive that.
The first question was, is there a periodic evaluation, review, whatever you want to call it, for employees so they know how they're doing? And then I asked, do those responses get into that discussion?
Okay. So, do we have a formal performance review process? Not on paper where, annual reviews. We do not do that anymore. We had switched to a quarterly process but COVID hit. And so much was done from home so that ended. And we have not picked it up. What that quarterly process was sit down face-to-face conversations with supervisor employee. An employee at all times on this campus should know from their direct supervisor how they're doing. My opinion, and the opinion of quite a few other HR professionals, is you don't necessarily need that annual paperwork or that quarterly paperwork if you're having those discussions. And so it's important to have those discussions. And it also builds the relationship with your team member, gives them that sense of belonging because you're communicating with them. You're having that conversation. So, not technically, but yes.
Okay, well, thank you very much, everybody. Thanks all for coming, and have a great day.